Stocks on Wall Street closed Friday's trading session mixed. The Dow Jones ends nearly 250 points higher. The S&P 500 posts a winning week, however, retreats from a record high on Friday amidst the US government shutdown. Markets in the Asia-Pacific have opened mixed as well, tracking cues from Wall Street. The Japanese Nikkei has hit a record high after the ruling party picked a new leader. The GIFT Nifty is indicating a marginally lower start for our own markets as well. Oil prices have risen more than 1% after OPEC and allies announced a more modest monthly increase in production than expected. Meanwhile, gold prices continue to rise on the US government shutdown concerns. The Supreme Court will hear a petition filed by Vodafone Idea challenging an additional demand of 9,500 crore rupees in AGR dues today, keeping the stock in focus as well. And a whole host of primary market action this week. Tata Capital's 15,500 crore rupee IPO opens for subscription today, while LG Electronic India's 11,607 crore rupee issue opens tomorrow. WeWork India's 3,000 crore rupee issue also closes tomorrow. It's an IPO heavy week, it's an earnings heavy week, and we'll bring you all of that all through the day. You're watching Power Breakfast on CNBC TV 18 in the Mumbai News Center. I'm Hormis Fatakia. Let's first take a look at how the Asian markets have started off. Well, you keep the rest of the Asia Pacific pack aside and take the look at only one market, and that is the Japanese indices. The Nikkei is currently trading with gains of 4.5% at record high levels. The Nikkei is up over 2,000 points in a single trading session, and that, of course, after the ruling LDP picked Sanae Takaichi as the new Prime Minister for the country, making her the first female Prime Minister of Japan, known to be favouring easier monetary and fiscal policy, and that has had a rub-off effect on the Nikkei. 4% higher currently on the index and nearing levels of 48,000. On the flip side, the yen has weakened in response to this announcement. Of course, some of the other indices, the Hang Seng, of course, the Chinese markets are shut on account of the holiday all through the week. The Taiwanese index too trading with gains of around 1.5%. The South Korean markets are shut as well today because of the holiday. So overall, it's a mixed picture for whatever Asian markets are open, but the focus solely is on Japan. Pull up the GIFT Nifty as well. That will give you an idea of how our own markets are likely to start off. And well, a 45-point downtick is what the implied open currently is suggesting. And mind you, the two-day recovery that the market has seen in the last two sessions will be put to test today. To set you up for today's trade, our research team is right here with the trade setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and cues from the FNO side as well. Just I was mentioning, the last two days of recovery over Wednesday and Friday that the Nifty has seen will be put to test, because last week we ended the week with gains, yes, and it was banks and IT some bit that led that recovery. On Wednesday it was the banks, and a last hour recovery in the IT stocks led to the Nifty ending higher on Friday. Gains of anywhere between half a percent to 2%, of course, in over the last week. But it's an important week today. This recovery will be put to test. Why is that so? Because there are multiple large IPOs that are opening today. Two of the largest IPOs of the year will be opening for subscription. Tata Capital opens today, LG opens tomorrow, and come Tuesday we will have IPOs worth almost 30,000 crores open for subscription simultaneously, because it will also be the last day of WeWork's IPO, which is of 3,000 crore rupees. And of course, there is also likely to be caution among the market participants ahead of the earnings season. But considering how the banking business updates have come out, there looks to be some comfort there for the bulls. Now, some important levels to watch for the Nifty. Friday's low, of course, 24,747 is now an important level on the downside, of course, followed by 24,600. The 50% retracement of the fall that the Nifty saw from the September 18 to the September 30 low, it comes up to around 25,017. That's the first level to watch on the upside, and the 61.2% retracement of the same comes up to 25,113. So these are two important levels on the upside that the index will have to watch out for. Now, for the Nifty Bank, that will be the index to watch out for today as well, considering a whole host of business updates that have come out across Friday and over the weekend. The index is on a 4-day losing streak, and in comparison to the Nifty Bank has almost retraced its entire downfall that it saw from the September 18 highs to the September 29 lows. The important level to watch now will be the September 18 swing high of 55,835. That is the next level to watch for the Nifty Bank. Now, other important events, of course, as I mentioned, Tata Capital's IPO opens today, LG's opens tomorrow, and TCS kickstarts the earnings season on Thursday. That will be the other important event to watch out for this week. For now, the GIFT Nifty is indicating a marginally lower start. It will be interesting to see if any potential dip comes in, whether that gets bought into or not. But that is your trade setup for the day. Over to Ria now, who would list out the stocks that you need to keep an eye out for in today's session. Ria, good morning.
Well, good morning, Hormuz. Let's start off with Aditya Birla Lifestyle. A big block deal is likely to happen on this front. Flipkart Investments is offloading up to 6% of its stake in the company, and the block deal is valued at approximately $112 million. Moving on to all of the quarter 2 updates that have come out over the weekend, starting off with PNB. The domestic advances have gone up by around 3.7% sequentially, coming in at 10.1 lakh crores this time around. For Yes Bank, the CASA ratio is now at 33.8% versus 32.8% in the previous quarter. For HDFC Bank, the CASA deposit for the period has gone up by around 1.3% sequentially at 9.5 lakh crores. And for Kotak Mahindra Bank, the CASA has gone up by 11.2% on a year-on-year basis and around 6.7% sequentially, coming in at 2.23 lakh crores in this quarter. For IndusInd Bank, for their quarter 2 update, the CASA ratio now stands at 30.8% versus 31.5% in the previous quarter. And for IDBI Bank, the net advances have gone up by around 8.7% sequentially, coming in at 2.3 lakh crores. Moving on to Bajaj Finance, as of September 30th, 2025, the AUM has gone up by 24% on a year-on-year basis, coming in at 4.62 lakh crores. For Marico as well, in their business update, they have said that they are expecting modest operating profit going ahead on a year-on-year basis. And for Vedanta, the aluminum production has gone up by around 1% on a year-on-year basis and 2% sequentially. Moving on, though, to Lupin, the US FDA has issued Form 483 with 4 observations for the Pithampur Unit 2 manufacturing facility, and the company has also launched liraglutide injections in the US. And lastly, keep your eye out on Vodafone Idea as well. The company has appointed a new CFO called Tejas Mehta with effect from the 6th of October.
Also keep an eye out on Vodafone Idea because of the AGR hearing today in the Supreme Court. Ria, thank you for that update. And lastly, Sudarshan joins in with cues from the FNO space. Sudarshan, good morning. Welcome back. And does the FNO data indicate a move towards 25,000 for the Nifty?
Good morning, Harma. So data from FNO desk is largely looking like, if I can say, it's mixed, and there is nothing much to cheer about. Because like one problem that has been there for the last few weeks, that is the FI selling. And on Friday also we saw FI selling both in the cash as well as derivative market. But one support that might come from is the banking space. On Friday and Thursday, we have seen buying returning in banks. And if you remove the Nifty part in the derivative market, in the bank, in both futures and the option, we saw FI buying there. So on Friday, we saw Nifty, Nifty Bank as well as Nifty IT, all these major indices closing at the with minor gains at the, and especially IT index saw a recovery in the last hour trade, and this week it will be important for the IT index because we'll start seeing the earnings coming in, starting from TCS that will be reporting earnings on Thursday. As far as GIFT Nifty is concerned, it's indicating a start with minor cuts, currently down almost 50 points. On the in the cash market, we saw FI selling almost 1,600 crore, while DIs have bought just 500 crore. In the index futures too, FI have sold more than 2,300 crore, and now their long exposure has reduced to 7%. That is the multi-month lows. And on Friday, we saw FIs adding 828 longs, but in front of that, they have added short positions of more than 13,000 contracts. Now, if you come to the options data, one strike rate, that is 24,900, both on the put side as well as on the call side was very active. But on the put side, premium has seen a sharp fall. Now it indicates you that bulls will try to protect 24,900, and it's a very important level for both bulls and bears. On Friday, we saw 24,900 call, seeing addition of 51.5 lakh shares in open interest, and premium has come down to 77 from 80. On the put side, they have added 70 lakh shares, and premium has fallen to 62 from 108. And 25,100 call also seen healthy addition, and 24,800 put has seen addition also of around 60 lakh shares. So immediate support for Nifty would be 24,840, that is 50-day moving average. Next support comes around 24,750. Resistance would be 24,950, that is 100-day moving moving average. As far as Nifty Bank is concerned, support would be around 55,200 and resistance would be 55,700, that is 100-day moving average. One stock remains in the band, that is RBL Bank. Samant Capital has come out of the band. And as you have said, Vodafone Idea on Friday also it has seen fresh longs. And today also it will in focus ahead of AGR hearing. And one stock that might be in focus, that is the Max Health. Because of CGHS order on Friday, we saw fresh shorts in that stock.
Keep an eye out on all of these names. Sudarshan, thank you for that update, and take that stock forward from Sudarshan, which is Vodafone Idea. The Supreme Court set to hear a petition filed by the company on its AGR dues later today. The telecom company has challenged the additional demand of 9,500 crore rupees in AGR dues. Now, on the last date, the top court had asked the government to bring a sense of finality to the petition, even as the centre sought more time to work out a possible solution in view of its own equity stake in the telecom operator. So keep an eye out on Vodafone Idea in today's session. You take a short break. On the other side, we get you all the updates from the global market. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, India and the US are yet to find landing ground for their trade talks, according to External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. While he was speaking at the Kautilya conference yesterday, he said that, and I quote, "There are things you can negotiate and there are things you can't," end of quote. He also added that India has been in talks with the US for a trade understanding where, quote, "our bottom lines and red lines are respected," and he also said that both sides have not arrived at a landing ground for the trade discussions. Now, that is according to our External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Now, shifting focus to the latest Wall Street action, the S&P 500 retreated from a record high on Friday but held on to weekly gains, as did all the other benchmark indices, despite the US government shutdown dragging on for the third day in a row. The Nasdaq ended below the flat line. The Dow Jones was the outperformer. Palantir, Tesla and Nvidia faced some selling pressure, and that weighed on the Nasdaq as well as on the S&P 500. So, mixed picture on Friday, but all the benchmark indices ending with gains. Now, the FOMC voted in to lower its benchmark interest rate by a 1/4 percentage point last month. Now, let us also listen into what experts have to say about the interest rate outlook.
I think Fed cutting rates is positive for fixed income. Yields are very attractive here. We're focusing on credit over duration, though, and particularly like municipal bonds because of the strong fundamentals. States have very strong rainy day funds and also high savings rates. So that's the sweet spot of fixed income for us. Secondarily, we also like senior loans and emerging market debt now that some of the Liberation Day issues are behind us.
Now, the Trump administration has asked several US universities to agree to a number of demands in order to receive quote-unquote preferential access to federal funds. The universities received a notice telling them to crack down on the departments that belittle conservative ideas if they are to qualify for funding. The memo also asked some schools to sign a deal to cap international undergraduate enrollment at 15%. Additionally, no more than 5% of students from one country can enroll. The announcement has led to dozens of US colleges cutting budgets as foreign enrollment has dropped. We'll take a short break. On the other side, we get 2 more cues from the commodities market. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, more than 10 deaths were reported from Madhya Pradesh's Chhindwara amidst consumption of a contaminated batch of cold drift cough syrup. Now, in response, several states including Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Telangana and Kerala have issued advisories and banned the sale of the cold drift cough syrup. Now, the Union Ministry held a meeting chaired by the Health Secretary Punya Salila Srivastava with all the states and union territories. The meeting focused on ensuring strict compliance with the drug quality standards and promoting the safe use of cough syrups. Now, West Bengal is also reeling under the impact of the relentless rain, with Darjeeling witnessing one of its worst landslides in a decade that has claimed at least 23 lives so far. As the Hill District remains on orange alert, the IMD has warned of continued rainfall in several parts of the state, including Kolkata. Hundreds of tourists visiting for the festive season are stranded after key routes caved in under these landslides. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has announced compensations for the victims and is set to visit North Bengal today to review the situation. And Manisha Gupta now joins in with all the updates from the commodity space. Manisha, good morning. Yet another day, yet another record for gold.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. This is becoming a norm now, and the kind of run-up that we are seeing in gold is just crazy. 39.20 is what we've already done. The latest trigger clearly has been the prolonged U.S. government shutdown, and the markets will watch out for the Federal Reserve officials. You also have the U.S. Fed chief, Jeremy Powell, slated to speak on Thursday. But yes, we are in a very, very strong bull run, but this is heated and overbought situation that we are seeing in case of gold. A lot of international experts that I speak to tell me that 4,000, 4,100 is where you will see a stiff resistance. Gold can see a pullback from those kind of levels. The longer-term targets, of course, are still much on the higher side. But yes, with 90 and 92 of a RSI, this is absolutely overbought. But not just gold. Take a look at silver prices, and we are up by nearly 68% for silver at this point in time. 7 straight weekly gains, and the markets are looking at almost 49.5, which was an all-time high that we have seen silver hit a couple of times. And a quick one on platinum as well, because we're looking at higher highs onto that one. And 82% of gains is what platinum is trading with right now for 2025.
Manisha, thank you for that update from the commodity space. And with that, we call time on this edition of Power Breakfast. From me and the team that put this show together, thank you so much for watching. Bazaar Morning Call sets you up for the day's trade.